Hello class, welcome to section 3.2 where we're going to add integers. So what I'm going to do here is show you a few things. If we're adding a positive plus positive or a negative plus negative, one thing that you can do on these is just add the numbers and keep the sign. So if we had 1 plus 2, just add the numbers and we get 3. If we have negative 1 plus negative 2, just add, both of them are negatives, so we're just going to add them and keep the negative sign, and it's negative 3. Okay, so, however, let's say that we have one of each. That's if we have a positive and a negative. We're going to subtract absolute values and keep the sign of the bigger number. So for instance, if we have 7 plus a negative 12. So one's a positive, one's a negative. 12 is bigger than 7, so we're going to subtract those and get a 5. And the 12 has a negative number, so we keep the negative. So it's the answer is negative 5. And go back to some that we already had. Say we have 3 plus 7, that equals 10. Negative 3 plus negative 7 equals negative 10. If we have a negative 3 plus 8, now we have this one, we had both positives. This one we had both negatives. Here we have a positive and a negative, so we're going to subtract the big minus the small and we get 5. And the sign of the big one was a positive, so our answer is 5. If we have negative 8 plus 3, same numbers, but this time the 8 is a negative and the 3 is positive. So we're going to subtract the bigger number, which is 8 minus 3, which is 5. Keep the negative sign because that's where the negative was with the bigger number. So the answer is negative 5. And then finally, let's look at one that has a few more to it. Negative 7 plus negative 2 plus negative 1. So here we have 3 numbers. They're all negative and we're adding them to each other. So our answer is still going to be a negative, and we're just going to add the numbers. 7 plus 2 plus 1 is 10. Another way you can do all of these is on a number line. So let's go back to the negative 3 plus 8. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to, so that's where I'm going to start. And plus means I'm going to the right. So I'm going to add 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's what we got before. You're not going to be able to do this with the bigger numbers, but this is just to show you what it is that we're doing. And let me do one of them that had 2 negatives. Say we had negative 3 plus negative 7. So we're going to start at negative 3, and because it's a minus 7, we're going to go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's at negative 10. So that's what the answer would be. So that's one way that you can look at these. But when you get into bigger numbers, it makes it harder. Just remember, if we have 2 numbers that are both positive that we're adding together, our answer is going to be positive. And we're just going to add the numbers. If we're adding a negative and a negative, then we're just going to add the numbers themselves, keep the negative sign. And if we have one of each, it's just like subtraction, really. We're going to subtract the number that is the absolute value is bigger minus the smaller one, and we're going to keep the sign of the bigger one. And that is it for 3.2.